Welcome, everyone, to Road to Millions Talk. I'm Andy and Steve from wagertalk.com, and we are going to go over what happened last night. We're going to go over what we are looking at today. Um, Steve, we always want to take a look at our losses and see if there's anything we can learn from. Obviously, we talked about having the 5% play last night. So, two things, or actually three things happened. A, we cashed our MLB. B, we cashed our Nuggets to win the series prop, but we lose this Jamal Murray over points in a heartbreak fashion. So let's go ahead and just take a look back at it. And it was infuriating, frustrating. And I think what's kind of really frustrating is that we didn't really learn anything from it. It wasn't like we had a bad read or anything. It's just one of those plays where we got unlucky with a few things and it just didn't go our way. So walk us through the Jamal Murray play. What went wrong? What went right?
So we had his points over at 26 and a half. He lands heartbreakingly on 25. Just down the stretch, he during that the pick and roll that him and Joker used together, he just kept opting out and passing the majority of the time. Misses a really easy layup, slips on the court on one where he looked like he was going to have an easy shot against Anthony Davis, which every time that switch was made, he seemed to score. He only scores 10 points in the second half. It's a rough one, man, because we just needed a bucket, and we had such a great night, and we end up losing that 5%er. I don't get the Lakers not thinking to use Schroeder earlier in the series to defend him. That seemed to kind of bother him early, but then he got into foul trouble, and Murray was scoring on him regardless. It seemed that Murray could have easily had 30 points again. And it's rough because we had so many other good reads in the game that fell short. That hit, and we fell short on the one we used as the 5%er.
Yeah, it was a really frustrating one. He misses the bunny there at the end, and then of course he's the guy that prevents LeBron from getting the potential shot up that could have sent it to overtime. Of all
He
people, no Jamal, no.
It easily could have been called a foul, and he gets to the free throw line. Just send that puppy to overtime, and Murray's going to get at least. I would assume he would get at least a basket. I don't get him opting out of. I mean, it worked. Obviously, they win the game in the end,
Yeah,
but he was really opting out of a lot of the shots that we've seen him take in the first three games of that series.
and we also had the opportunity where if like the Lakers lose the ball or they miss the shot, Jamal Murray's the guy that shoots the free throws for them. So like even if Jamal Murray steals the ball clean and grabs it, like he gets fouled and then probably hits two free throws. It was a really frustrating. This one I told you earlier this morning. Normally I'm over losses real quick. You kind of have to. I woke up this morning, man, and I was just like, are you kidding me? How did we lose that play?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I felt the same way this morning. It was still, it's still anything you think of, it's still in the back of your head. Just like, man, we missed a huge night on that one, and like you mentioned, we hit the MLB play. We had the Nuggets on the series, so that mitigate some of the losses, but still, it would have just been a huge night for us to kick off the week. I know you're doing your reset on Wednesdays, but regardless of when you're resetting, it would have been a great spot to pick up those
Yeah.
5 units.
Yeah, it would have been great. Shout out to Greg in the chat room, having a really good week so far. And it's only Tuesday. Shout out to Jim. Shout out to Scott. How are you guys? Leave us a comment. Leave us a question in the chat or anything. Please keep me updated on how your guys' Road to Millions plays are doing. So all that positive feedback just keeps us going. So yeah, let's talk Road to Millions here a little bit. So I said last night, on the play that my reset day is Wednesday, but I was going to try and get the 3% last night. So I said I was going to play it to try and win 3%. Let's just count it as like a 4 or 5% loss. We did cash the Nuggets series total, which is fine. It mitigates a little bit of loss, but it would have been so nice to just have that big boost in units. So, and we did. I like I said, I've been playing the baseball plays, play them at 1% or 2%. So we did hit that. So instead of having a 5% loss last night, I think we can say we had a 2 or 3% loss. So that's kind of where I'm focusing in on. And I have to say, it's a solid card today for our plays. I talk about this where I don't want to go big on plays coming off of a losing day. And I feel like last night was technically a losing day, but really it was only one play. So I am going to play the plays that we have today. I'm not going to Not going to try and get it all back. That's how you get into trouble. But the plays tonight are absolutely worth 1%, 2% as we try and kind of get back what we lost last night, maybe get into the positives and look forward for the rest of the week. So I did have to bring up, Steve, my dumbass brings up that the Astros are not hitting, or at least they didn't hit against the Athletics. And you were like, yeah, I think they were kind of not real motivated. They scored 12 runs yesterday against the Brewers. So pat myself on the back. Nice job there, Andy. But great job on the baseball free plays. You've been doing really well. So I wanted to come back to you and just talk to us a little bit more about baseball and some of the trends that you're noticing.
Yeah, yesterday we had Freeman over 1.5 total bases. He gets there easily he had 7 total bases, double home run. He got the home run prop for people that sprinkled that one as well. So that was a great play. I mentioned the Braves yesterday against lefties, and there's another team that's crushing lefties that we'll talk about in a little bit. The Texas Rangers. That's another team. They face a lefty today in Rich Hill, and I would, they're another team that's just crushing lefties. I'd look their way whenever they're facing a lefty, especially with how explosive that offense has been. That, like I said, we'll just keep trying to cash these free plays in the MLB and stick to our system that we have running for our client plays.
Yeah, and this definitely goes back to something that we talked about in our original Road to Millions video, which is you don't have to know every single team in a particular sport like MLB in order to make your money and do damage. In fact, I would say it's impossible to know all of these teams really well. So I love what you've been doing and what we've been doing. Just like, let's concentrate on just a few teams. Let's pick our spots with those teams and, just do it. So I've noticed, I mean, there's a lot of teams that we're just not even really looking towards because they're not really predictable at this point, right?
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned the Astros anemic offense yesterday. That another team you might want to look at is the Padres. They are just scuffling. It's amazing. I know Machado's out, but that team is stacked, and they're just still scuffling. 1, 2, 0 runs it seems like on a nightly basis.
Yep.
So that's another team you can look towards some unders on for the time being until those bats. I'm assuming those bats that lineup's just too good to stay down for the entire season. But
yeah, I've told you there's a guy I follow on Twitter who's a big Padres fan, and he is just hilarious. I mean, just trashing the offense when they go through these that they've been doing this year. So let's see. Hockey, horrible game last night. If you like a lot of offense, 1-0. I know Jim had Montour over 2.5. It 2 early shots and then nothing. I think they had 7.
A heartbreaker.
Jeez, man. Oh, if you had any type of over, that was dead in the water. So I think if you're riding Montour, I think you just kind of have to stick to it. It's one of those props that you just play every night or, nothing at all. So I don't like this Florida Carolina series to bet on. I don't really have any strong opinions. I think we're kind of laying off of it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I haven't found anything since the series began that I've really loved. I wish we were taking the under in every game throughout the series because we cashing tickets left and right. And this Panthers team is amazing. They're just it seems like a team of destiny almost. We'll see what happens when they get to the Stanley Cup Finals, but it'll be interesting.
What do we have coming up? So we got a golf tournament that is not super bettable, but I'm finding that there are a lot of really nice hidden spots in that one. So I'm uploading golf plays this afternoon. So the golf pack will be up later today. If you have a full access client, you'll start seeing a few plays come in. So I look forward to that. And we've got a Formula One race this week that is very bettable. It's at Monaco. It's not the most exciting race in the world. Passing is non-existent pretty much, but cream rises to the top. So we'll be firing away a couple plays. So I think really we're just playing the plays tonight kind of small. We're hoping to get back to that, even money after last night, or maybe get into the plus category. I expect golf to do well. Baseball has been doing really well, and I like the NBA plays tonight. It's amazing to think, Steve, if the Heat close out tonight, we have like a week?
Yeah, a little over a week before the finals begin. I don't think I can't see the NBA being very happy with that, and as a Celtics fan, I hope that they can at least extend the series and bring it back to Boston tonight. I love
think
Boston
they will. Fans. I got a feeling.
It's too much. It's just four games in a row. It's tough to do in any sport, and these guys just got to come back down to not back down to earth, but back to their normal shooting percentages. Brown and Tatum have just been struggling. It's unbelievable that Tatum hasn't scored a point in the fourth. Hasn't hit a field goal. I'm sorry, in the fourth quarter in 3 games. I know he wasn't on the court last game, because they were down by 30 points coming into the fourth quarter, but I think
That's a
they.
shocking stat for one game.
Oh, 100%. It was amazing that Joker, too, the first 2 games of that series, he didn't score in the fourth quarter. Well, he scored, from the free throw line, though.
Yeah,
But no field goals is what I should say.
no field goals. So, I will tell you right now, I'm guessing the Heat are going to close out this series at some point. I'm going right back to Denver on the series bet. I mean, we cashed that one. I do have a regret not putting in after the second game when Denver went up 2-0. We talked about, oh man, we could take Denver -1.5 game at -160. It's like if they win game 3 in Lakers, that's a wrap. It's over. So little regret on that one, but whatever. We cashed that one. I think this is Denver. This has just been the play. I mean, the playoff of destiny for Denver, right? Each round just kind of seems to be just falling into their favor.
Yeah, it's been smooth sailing. They haven't been tested by anyone. Minnesota, Phoenix, LA. It hasn't mattered. There, it seems like it's their year. I'm glad to hear you say that you're looking at the series prices for the NBA Finals on them as well. I know there's a lot of juice on it, but there's a couple different ways we can probably attack it and put something on Denver to win that series. It's. I mean, I feel like it's worth the juice. Just a small sprinkle. You don't want to lose anything big on it, but it feels like a spot where you could pick up a unit pretty sweat free at this point.
And I would be looking at maybe even the -1.5 games on Denver. I mean, Denver just, rolled the Lakers in 4 games, and I'm not sure how much better the Heat are than the Lakers. And the big thing is, I don't know who from Miami is going to try and guard Jokic because it's not going to be Bam.
100%. Yeah, and it'll be tough for Boston when they get there after expelling so much energy in 7 games. It's going to be tough for them to beat the Nuggets after that. I mean, it's a little trend going on here, though. We remember the Red Sox down 3-0 a long time ago, and they got smashed in Game 3 against the Yankees, and then made history. And then made history. Yeah, it was a long time ago, but yeah, I mean, it'll be tough for the Celtics to complete that after they win these next 4.
I think one of the things that has still thrown people off from Denver is I keep saying, well, Denver wasn't very good down the stretch in the regular season. It's like, well, they had the number 1 seed locked up, and they did pretty much what they were supposed to do, which is save their guys for an incredible playoff run. And I mean, they got tons of rest, and I just think they have advantages all over the place against the Heat or the Celtics, whoever they may play.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, let's face it too. They have the best home court advantage in the NBA, and they'll have home court advantage in either series, obviously, once Boston does advance.
We're all honestly, I kind of want to see at least the series extended, especially if we can keep hitting these player props.
Yeah, that's what we were saying last night. We were like, not to get too greedy here, but we wouldn't mind this Nuggets Lakers series going another game or two. Even though we had the series ticket, I feel like the Nuggets were going to cash that regardless. So
yeah. Greg says Jokic triple-double for first game after all this rest. Yeah, absolutely. I would also say, just Jokic just in the rebounds in that first game. I mean, they don't have anybody to compete with him inside.
100%. It's at the point now too where it's basically the assist category. It's the only category. So when he gets those games where he has 7 first quarter assists, you're sitting pretty at that point because at this obviously double-digit points is but double-digit rebounds seems like a foregone conclusion at this point as well.
Yeah. So right now for today, we have one MLB play up, and we actually have 2 plays up in the Miami Celtics game tonight. So I think we should be able to add some units to the bankroll and get on the winning track. I mean, it's a bummer we lost the big play yesterday, but we were still 2-1. So I feel like we're still, seeing the plays pretty good with that Nugget series. So, all right, speaking of which, let's do a free play. And Steve, you mentioned the Rangers before. We're going to take the plus money on them on the run line, -1.5. What do we like about them tonight?
So the Rangers have been hot recently. They've won 8 of their last 12, and all 8 of those games have been by the run line. Pirates, they have a great record. They're in first place in their division, but they've cooled off recently. And tonight we got the lefty Rich Hill on the mound. As I mentioned earlier, the Rangers are just teeing off against lefties, top 5, top 3, almost any category you look at. You got Eovaldi on the mound for the Rangers. He's been great. Last start, 7 innings, 3 earned runs allowed. But prior to that, 3 starts with 25.2 innings of shutout baseball.
Wow.
He's near complete game, 8.2 innings, 8 innings. He's been great. Both bullpens are basically about a wash. So I'm looking at the Rangers in a great spot. They lost last night, so it's a great bounce back spot for them tonight. Give us that plus money on the run line and watch them bash a lefty again. They've been just piling up the runs. So
Love it. Let's cash on the Rangers -1.5 at that plus money. So apologies for the 5% loss, guys, but hopefully we mitigated the losses with a couple wins yesterday, and we'll get back on the winning track today. So good stuff, Steve. Let's cash the Rangers. Let's cash our client place night. We'll see everyone tomorrow on our road to millions.
good luck tonight.